Man, I wish we had a bard that could do that.
Well, you guys scared him away with your ghost talk. So
I thought he was a necromancer.
yeah, well, zombies are different than ghosts.
No, we just need one more level, don't we?
Well, we'll see.
I mean, Lathander was never uncursed by that evil elf lady, right?
Well,
Nope.
You
I
guys
mean,
don't know.
you mean, like, right? Like, that's like your wife now, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Imagine you have like a regular wife, and then you have your ghost wife.
Yeah,
No,
sure. Let's go with that.
Isn't Joe going to be
Sometimes,
bard in another level? Starting level 4?
If Joe wants to.
Or warlock. I mean, that's also.
I mean, after Joe's epic melee session last session, I'm not sure that he would want to.
I have a logistics question.
It really was epic.
Well, that's
If
how
you're-
paladins go. They start off high ceiling.
If a ghost possesses somebody and then they have sex, is that a three-way?
Once we hit level 5, you guys will be fucking killers.
You know, that was like a shit post, but it's a really valid question.
This.
I mean, I just thought about it when I was talking about Lathander's ghost wife.
Hey, you guys don't know what happened with my character.
I'm gonna go with it's a three-way, but also rape.
All right. Got it.
No,
Fair.
I can.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. Exactly. Nailed it.
Move the burrito with the rapist.
So, last
Rampant.
time on Dork Knight Elite 2, the party mishmash adventurers decided to try to find the brother of Andre Nash, they believe to be a zombie. We explored this dwarven rune, finding statues and gold-like, but also a bunch of zombies and ghosts. So there was some shenanigans with trying to torture some people. Cora ran off a couple of times. They were nearly gassed in a chamber, both Cora and Merrick. Before eventually we found a way down, I believe, some stairs down further into the dungeon. But after seeing that we were all very low health because of a risky loot grab, we decided, hey, let's not do this shit. Let's go first heal for a week in Havita. Right? That's the place. Yeah.
We fucking. Who did we talk to that said there was people down below waiting for Andre?
One of the cultists, I believe. The werewolf cultist, which I forgot to mention.
That's the one that corpse
That's right.
hesitated to kill and
Yeah.
bit me, and I became a werewolf.
Yep.
That's right.
And so we are now traveling back to Havita, and I'm pretty sure something happened at the end of the last session, but I did not write it down. So
Anybody want to fill that gap in?
Drawing a
Wasn't it just we started to hit howls?
tapestry. Cora sneaks back. Blah blah blah. Cora says spirit spoke to her. Blah blah. Otar is a big all caps hypocrite about taking stuff. We head back to Havita to recover for now. Hear a howl in the distance.
that was it. There was howls.
Yep.
Yep.
So, as you guys exited the catacombs, you entered the mausoleum where you had the horses. You only had one horse, is that correct?
The
Over
horse,
the-
the donkey,
Cora
Yes.
had a horse, Merrick had a horse, and then the donkey,
and then the boar.
and the
Well,
boar.
The boy.
And
Where is
oh,
the skunk right now?
and the skunk, I think.
Yep.
The skunk is with me. He's always with me.
Stinky. So you had entered that mausoleum and exited to find it was the middle of the night and the snow was coming down horrifically. And as you exited to begin your trek towards Havita, howls echoed. First one, relatively close, and then another answered, and then another. and another until there was a cacophony of howls echoing through the night.
How
And,
far
Want to go back?
place are we? Is that just like when we just got out? We're hearing all these howls?
Yes, you guys had exited the mausoleum. You haven't even, basically, you're just leaving. You got the horses, you got the animals, you exited, you took you moved maybe 10 to 20 feet outside of the mausoleum, and that is when the first howl started.
So, does this sound like wolves? Regular, normal wolves?
They're wolf howls for sure. Considering your recent encounter, it wouldn't surprise you that they were wolves, that there are others about.
So it's
Either way, whether they're wolves, dire wolves, wargs, werewolf, whatever the case may be, there are a lot of them.
Time to go back inside?
No, if that's what we want to do, but I think we just need to move fast.
Some of us got horses, some of us don't. If they're regular wolves, they're going to catch up to us. Which, if they're regular wolves, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But if
maybe the people on horse should make a dash for Havita and try and get help from the Nords.
Havita's nearly a day away.
I would offer Evie a ride. She's probably pretty small. You could 2 on that horse.
Was Havita a day, or was it half a day?
I thought you said a day to us, but
It's about a day away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got 2 horses and a donkey.
How far do we think they're away, based on how loud they are?
And the moth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Based on
full-size people.
Based on how loud these howlings are, how far do we think they're away from us?
Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Andre, get on my horse. Evie, get on Cora's horse. I think Corbin's probably going to have to run, and
I'm fine with fucking running.
Can I smell how close they are?
Got the donkey, but follow me. I'll try to find the best path for us to get out of here.
Because
Can I smell how close they are?
No, unfortunately, you can't detect them. Between the blowing wind, the snow piling up, and the cold, bitter temperature, it's very difficult for Otar to determine where or how close they are.
Just all around.
You know that at least one is relatively close by.
Okay.
And the others, what you can tell, even though it was a 7 on the roll,
yeah, of course.
that they're at different distances. They're not grouped together.
And Evie and Andre, since you're riding on with us, you don't have to watch out for the road, but just watch out for anything coming. Blast anything that's coming.
Yeah, and Cora, as you get out there, you hear that, and it just, you get the chill from the top of your spine at the base of your neck, shoot all the way down your spine. It just gives you chills as you hear them, and you can almost visualize them. One is probably within a mile to a half-mile distance from you. But beyond that, that is the closest one to you. There are others further away, and I'm going to send you a PM as well.
Okay.
Can I fit on top of the giant boar?
What's up?
I
Can't
fit
help.
on top of the giant boar.
Yes, because he is a large creature. How much do you weigh?
I mean, I'm 10. Oh, well, how do I say? Like, I'm like 9.5 feet tall, because 10 feet tall is kind of crazy. I'll say 9.5 feet.
On the giant boar with me
Yeah,
because
so
I'm
like
negligible.
350.
Oh, yeah, that would be too much for the boar. The boar could possibly carry someone like Evie.
Could
Yeah.
I'm 225, 6'3".
Yeah, he could potentially carry you, but over 300 pounds is a bit much. Now he's very strong and large for that matter, but Gorban, you're looking at him, you'd be scared that you would crush his legs.
Okay.
1 sec.
Gorman, I'm not leaving you here alone. We'll run. We'll do whatever we can to save as many as we can. But we need to get out of this place. We need to get back to Havita now.
I mean, fuck it, if we're chased by a werewolf, looks like I'm going to kick some werewolf ass.
I agree. Let's do this.
Manly fist bump.
I take out my ale and I down one. Which is my second to last ale. Didn't pack much for this adventure.
How rough is Otar looking? Is he like?
Hodar looks fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What were you saying about you didn't pack?
Enough ale.
Well,
yeah.
you have the mug.
Well, I don't. I don't know about
you
the mug.
don't. Yeah. Oh, okay. Somebody has the mug anyway. But
Yeah, let's run.
yes, Cora and Merrick have horses.
Start running.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's try to divert them away.
I got
What's that?
F out.
Me and Merrick, let's try to divert the wolves away in a different direction, since we have fast horses.
I can't. I got to lead the way. You guys are gonna follow the best path.
And just to
I don't
add
want
to
to
that,
the party.
because Merrick is a ranger, if you follow Merrick, you will not have disadvantage on your movement because it's difficult terrain. The snow is getting deeper. That's one of his ranger abilities. You'll just be able to move freely at your regular pace. And but if you do split off, anybody with Merrick would be fine, but the remainder of the party would lag behind, basically moving at half speed.
Does Gorban know the way we came here? As if so.
I mean, you basically know you're going down this hill, which is a little bit treacherous going down as it is icy and snowy. But going down there, you have a general idea. Once you get down there, you'll travel a little while, and then there's a small lake off to the left-hand side. Which is where you ran into the Draugr, which happened last week as well. Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Yeah, but as people get tired, they can take places on the horses, so we can carry on, keep on jogging, and whenever someone gets tired, they can jump on a horse.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I'm down for whatever doesn't split the party. That's where I'm at.
We should definitely stay together.
I agree. If we're running into a werewolf, it took nearly 4 of us to defeat one.
Yes.
That's why we weren't trying to run away.
So you guys are just beelining it, basically in the direction of Havita.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the snow continues to fall, the party moves forward down the hill, and moving as fast as you possibly can, taking extreme caution not to lead the horses astray and potentially break a leg. You're not going the fastest possible speed, because that would just be reckless, but you are moving as fast as you can while avoiding any pitfalls. Merrick is quite good at what he does, and he does lead you on fairly well. All right. All right. So as the white moon shines brightly in the sky above, in between the snow clouds, you trek onward. The snow is at the top of the hill there. It seemed to be more or less about knee deep. As you got down to the base of the hill and the lakeside, it becomes much deeper, as if it was blowing down from the higher altitudes down below. Nearly at waist height, you trudge on through the falling snow, and I'm going to need everybody who is not on horseback to roll me a Constitution check. Or,
Check or saving throw.
Just
Save.
to clarify.
Yep,
Save.
safe. Yep.
Okay. That's terrible. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Or even worse.
Ow. All right, Otar, mark 1 level of exhaustion. Your chest is heaving. Most likely, it's due to the fact that you all haven't truly slept in some time, as well as the encounters that you've had. You haven't had any good sleep. You haven't had any downtime or resting. Not since you were in Hivita, anyway. And even when you were there, you only stayed for 1 night before traveling on. All right. Otar, Cora stops the horse and allows you to take her spot.
Okay, let's just go as fast as we can. I hop on.
Okay. All right. So you continue to move. I'm through the snow as it is continuing to pile up. You guys are as cold as you ever remembered. And I'm going to need anybody on foot, which is Cora and Edie.
I told it was
Gorban.
me and Cora
Gorban.
on the horse, so I told Cora to stay on the horse and I'd get off instead for.
Oh,
Otar.
okay. Yep. So anybody on foot, I need a dex.
I'll do it, Evie. I can fucking run and I'm better at this than you. No offense, but we need to go as fast as we can and I'm not taking that chance. Stay on the horse, I'll run.
All right. So as you climb down off of the horse, I'm going to need Otar, Evie, and Cora. And Gorban.
Well, somebody's got to be on that horse. Cora.
Yeah,
This is
I thought
this
it was
is
Cora and Evie.
this is in between switching. I'm going to need the 4 of you to make dexterity saves.
Not great at that.
All right, Gorban, and Otar. As you're standing there and you're switching positions and trading horseback for foot, suddenly you hear a crack from underneath your feet as you're plunged into ice cold water of a small stream. Yeah, you slip in up to your knees in this ice cold flowing brook. It's painful at the very
Somebody
least.
grab on my belt.
Cora and Evie, you are able to grab hold of the horse enough to balance yourselves over to the shore or the bank of the stream before you slip into the ice cold water.
Okay, once I'm there, can I get my rope and throw it to them?
Oh, They're not. They're only up to their knees. They're still standing.
They just got.
But they
Oh,
they
gee.
fell through. They fell through the ice because with the weight of the horse, and the four of you standing there, it just gave way underneath you. I mean, if you wanted to use your rope, absolutely you could do that.
Do me and
Bring
Gorbun?
it out.
Yeah, same. But do me and Gorbun hear anything behind us? Because we're not like
Make
on
make perception checks.
Andre, I need you to take the horse. I go help Otar. You need to get on the horse.
Yes,
Well,
I'll
fine.
definitely.
Here.
I'll hold the horse. Yeah.
All right, Otar and Cora. You hear the howls. Seems like they're closer. Not all of them per se, but they're all either to what would be the north, the south, or I'm sorry, not north. It'd be the east, the west, or the south. Not to the north, which is basically the direction you're heading. They seem to be getting closer as if closing in on you from all sides.
I put on my dry pair of boots.
I'm just gonna run. I'm just going to say, I'm a fucking pawn in this. You all need to survive. Let's go. I'm gonna keep running.
Otar, shut up. Get on a damn horse. Otherwise, you're going to slow us down.
I'm running. I'm running after I put on my boots.
Okay. Quickly, you switch out boots. And so you guys start off as soon as possible. It takes you just a few moments, but those few moments, you begin to panic as you just, Cora, you can feel them almost like it's almost as if you can feel their presence getting closer and closer.
Okay.
I'm gonna have it.
Do you guys remember when in Return of the Jedi when Luke came in the shuttle and they flew near Endor and Luke sensed Darth Vader? This is what I'm doing right now. I am going to be a danger to you guys, and I'm going to need you guys to continue on. And I'm going to hop off the horse.
I punch him in the face to knock him out.
I don't think you're strong enough for that.
Josh?
Wait, is Cora's jumping off?
I mean, so you're just jumping off the horse?
Yeah, I'm just explaining to you guys.
Sorry, I just accidentally unplugged. What was that? Dexterity?
I thought maybe I could use dexterity for my punches, but I'm hoping you'll let me re-roll with strength now.
Well, yeah. It would be.
Oh, motherfuckers!
He's throwing at air as she moves at you. She literally doesn't even notice what you're doing. As you see, she stumbles, turns around and begins leading the horse basically out of the water and up onto the banks.
Gorbun, help me with Cora.
Go!
No.
Listen to me for
Cora,
once.
you need to survive this. I don't. You go.
Cora,
No.
if you
Turn around.
You don't understand. I can feel them. You know what this means. Go.
Gorbun pulls out his pen, turns around, and just slowly starts walking towards the wolves. I mean, I guess we're doing this. I mean, if we're all going to stand here and fight, I guess we're just going to fight the wolves. So fucking bring. He just starts yelling, "Wolves are right here! I fucking guess. Let's go!"
I go stand with Gorbun.
Yeah, I'm already standing there.
I mean, if we're doing this, let's do it right here. Why fucking just keep running? Why tire ourselves out? Let's fucking stand right here.
Evie lights her eyes up.
If I pull out a skull.
If we're gonna die, I don't want to die running.
You guys, so you guys are arguing, standing about each other.
We're not arguing, we're posturing.
No, you're actually arguing. You took swings
we
at each
never
other.
do We never.
I don't think what I did counts
Question.
as a swing.
Okay.
For a second, I thought Gorvin was saying he was pulling out the frying pan and walking towards Cora. I thought that's what he was going to say. I was like, oh, shit.
Okay. Question. What is around us right now? Are there trees around us? What's up? Explain where I'm standing right now.
I think we're on a river, right? Because we just fell and we're getting out. We're arguing.
It's a small stream. I mean, the deep part takes you down knee height. It's about 2 feet deep, but beyond that, it's not very wide. Stony, a lot of pebbles and smaller size rocks and boulders, but it leads down into that pond, which is further off to your west. And 1 second.
Are there any trees around?
I'm gonna try and take a.
Evie and Andre cover the east and west. I'll cover the south.
Yeah,
That's
Evie,
most likely where they're
what's
coming
that?
from.
Clover's gonna pipe up, I guess. So, there might be another way. It's closer than Havita. I don't know if they know how to get to it, but we can pop into the Feywild real quick.
What the
I'm not
hell
sure
is the
what that
Feywild?
It's got
How
a-
far is that?
Like maybe a half mile. I'm not good with measurements. Closer than Havita.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
I mean, it's
I
it's
guess I'm getting
closer.
back on a fucking horse.
Yep.
let's fuck. Yeah, it's. I mean,
Let's
fuck it,
really
let's
go,
go.
Fairy.
All right, so you guys are going to follow Clover's lead?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should stay with like flanking and stuff. Keep a proper look out.
Yep. So, Clover, you use a fairy-like ability to kind of like use your pixie dust or whatever to make yourself illuminated.
Light on her.
Well, you don't necessarily have to do that. Go that far.
I'm
But
doing it
if you
anyways.
want to. Okay. So yeah, if you want, you can absolutely lead the way to the direction that you believe that gate to be in. You're fairly confident about the direction.
I don't know if the werewolves have been hopping in and out too, but a plan is better than no plan.
Well, I assume there's no snow there, so
Okay, let's go.
I hope not. I mean, you
Don't know
never
what
know.
it is. So let's go.
I mean, Clover, it is the summer court, so you assume not. Unless something is really, really wrong.
Gosh, I hope not.
So,
Which is like, oh, no.
all right. So you guys begin following her. You're not following the path that you were following before. It seems almost as if you're heading off deeper into the forest. Zigzagging between pine trees and boulders. Here, at least, because of the tree cover, the snow is not quite as deep, but any disturbance of the trees causes a horrible amount of snow to fall down upon you guys. So you guys travel on. You can still hear the howls behind you as it suddenly the howls now have a different tone to them, as if almost as if they know their quarry is close, that the hunt is almost done. And you just continue moving as fast as you can. Your lungs are burning. And I'm going to need everybody on foot to make yet another Constitution save.
Let's go.
Oh, much better.
All right. Corbin, you mark down 1 level of exhaustion.
Gotcha.
As you are not, you're feeling horrible at the moment. Maybe not so much as Cora, but. All right. And as you travel on, they're close, really close. You could actually hear growling from behind you as you're just trekking through the snow. And at that point, you see a pinpoint of light ahead of you, deeper within the forest. It seems to be swaying in the breeze, and you are hustling and moving as fast as you can, and slowly but surely that light begins to get brighter, and you struggle the last 100 yards, 50 yards, as it becomes brighter and brighter. And
I hope this works.
The fuck is that?
all right.
I've never tried to bring anyone through before, but it should work just fine.
You frantically run through the deep snow that continues to fall. Trudging through, you can almost feel the beast behind you with her hot breath and snapping jaws. The muscles in your legs, or the horse's legs, begin to burn. They began to burn long ago. The only thing keeping you moving is fear. Fear for one another, fear of death, fear of becoming the hunter and losing yourself. If only you could reach that light in the distance. Perhaps a camp or a lonesome shack. At any rate, it would be best to face your foes in the light. Perhaps you all die, but at least you will die together in the light and not torn to shreds in the darkness. Rushing forward, almost spent, you notice the snow is residing and becoming less deep. There up ahead, you can see rocks in green of plant life. The source of light so close you can almost feel it, or perhaps you can. Your ragged breath no longer visible, you notice it is warmer here. The smell of junipers and lilacs fill your nostrils as if it were a summer day. You stumble closer, the light growing brighter. Standing at the edge of a small pool of water, a lone statue worn with age greets you. A winged creature, perhaps an elf or angel, holds a swinging lantern glowing with a magical light. Ivy and flowers grow around, and on the woman offering a peaceful feeling. On the other side of the water, below the lantern, a path leading deeper into the woods. Twinkling lights fill your eyes as you stare down the old path. Looking to the statue, she smiles at you from above as if in approval of this path. Disrupting you from your thoughts, the baying of the werewolves echoes in the night, close now. Looking to the others of your party, your choices are clear. Stand your grounds and fight, or take the path leading into the light.
Does this statue look familiar?
Nope.
I suppose it's time to go to the fucking Feywild. Come on.
I make
I know
sure
it's
these
first.
idiots
That's
are going first.
Down the path.
Okay. So you stumble through, you leap across a small pool of water. Some elk, they go scampering about off in the distance as at your approach. And then suddenly, as you're walking this trail, or running for that matter, you see I'll show you. Proceeding down the trail the winged maiden brought you to, you come upon an ancient set of steps leading up a gentle incline. Perhaps it's your eyes playing tricks upon you, but it appears it has become lighter out. By your calculations, dawn is hours away. Unsure what is happening, you continue to climb the stairs as the werewolves continue their chase. They are horribly close now. An open stone archway appears before you. It is covered in green vegetation and flowers of numerous colors. A sweet smell comes from beyond. Looking through the archway, it is as if looking through a curtain or veil. Color and light is slightly distorted, but you can clearly make out shapes through the haze. A voice rings out from beyond. Quick, Clover, bring them through. They are almost upon you. Rushing through the archway, you all stumble into a clearing amongst large trees, bearing leaves of numerous colors and shapes. With a twang of at least a dozen bows, you hear 2 yelps behind you. Turning, you see the remains of 2 werewolves that are slowly changing back into human form. Each body has no less than a dozen arrows protruding from them. Welcome to the Summer Court, Outlanders, a female voice says in a melodic tone. You are safe here for now. Blinking as your eyes adjust to the light and the distortion, you see a number of elves with bows in hand standing just within the shadows of the nearby trees. A female appears before you, signaling the archers to stand down.
Is the voice in common that says this, or like in Sylvan?
Yes,
Okay.
it is actually in common.
Okay.
Regular, common, or Nordic?
Nope, common.
Holy fuck.
Appearing out of seemingly nowhere, a short, snow-white-skinned elf with oddly different colored eyes greets you at your appearance in the Feywild, or as she calls it, the Summer Court. She smiles at you with a childlike innocence as she orders the nearby archers to lower their bows. I am Zentria, Watcher of the Maiden's Gate, and on behalf of Queen Titania, Lady of the Summer Courts, I welcome you. I recognize Clover. However, I am at a loss for the rest of you. But if Clover and Afirbolg have trusted you, so too shall you have mine. Come. We have much to discuss and a long journey ahead. Do not stray from the path. We are at the edge of the Queen's domain. There are those not so friendly to outsiders about. And with that, the archers, they disappear back into the shadows. Invisible guardians all. Zentria leads you to a different path, one that seems frequently traveled, and you see about globes of light floating, casting their colorful light across the, mixing with the already confusing light. As you're within the clearing, she turns back to you and she says, "You may follow me."
Clover, what the hell is this shit?
An invitation. You don't turn invitations down. Come on, let's go.
I offer my elbow out to Clover to like walk her down, like a regal style.
I will take your elbow while still sitting on Rowan, my best friend.
All right, so you begin to follow Zentria. And she, as you are walking, she has a very, very light step, very swift and elegant in her gait. Off to the sides. Go ahead.
I'm saying hi to the trees and stuff as we walk by, and like if there's like a squirrel that walks past, I say hello.
And so off the sides of the path, here and there you see beasts, animals, and on occasion you think you see glimpses of other beings, perhaps centaurs. And at one point you think you see what may have been a unicorn, but it moved too fast for you to identify. The sweet smell of the flowers and just the general scent of the air is very pleasing and relaxing. You all are beginning to, at the very least, feel a little bit less agitated. You're beginning to, even Cora, you feel a little bit better, although not completely you don't feel as dizzy as you did before. Your sight is just at all times it's as if you're looking through a veil. As the longer you focus on things, the clearer they become. But it's just something that perhaps you'll get used to, or perhaps you need to be a native of the Feywild or a Fey creature in order to fully appreciate it. All right. It is absolutely beautiful here. You see small waterfalls coming from pools of water, splashing down the small brooks that run underneath the path that you're walking on, perhaps through a natural cavern. Perhaps it is. At one point, you think you see one of the trees move, but trees don't move. And you travel for a few hours when you enter just a small clearing. There are a few stones, carved stones, sticking up from the ground, perhaps ancient construction. Not sure what it's from. But she stops and says, perhaps you would like a short rest. Just a brief rest before we continue on.
What is this place? The Clover called it some sort of Feywild. Is that the name of this town?
And she...
Ooh, sorry, back for a hot sec. I think my internet had a stroke, so I'm on my phone right now.
Oh! Well, that stinks. Sorry. Didn't even realize you dropped out.
Thanks. Love you too.
It is.
I was too busy talking.
It's quite nice, but I'm confused. Where's all the snow?
She chuckles softly, like a childlike giggle. She says, "This is the Feywilds. This is not a town. This is... The Feywild is a plane. The plane of existence. Much like your prime material plane is."
You're gonna need to explain that to me I'm confused.
We are closer to Havita and further than Havita than we were before.
Okay, you need to stop talking in riddles. We need to talk
If you hate
later.
riddles, you need to leave.
I still don't understand this.
And as Andre, if you read what he wrote, perhaps that's that, like the abysses too.
What is the abyss? I don't know any of the plain. So
you are in a place, the fairy wilds, you could call it. The children of the Fae. We reside here, protecting and loving, nurturing nature.
Yes, and if they do not want us to leave, we have little to do about that. So mind your manners.
I pull out some pancakes.
I don't mean to offend. I'm just confused. Is there some type of godlike magic hiding this from the rest of the world? I have experience in that.
I pull out some pancakes.
It's not.
It's like this, Otar.
He's gonna explain it in food.
Explain to me when these fuckers aren't here.
Okay, it's like this. Here's a pancake. Put one down. This is like the abyss, okay? It's the evil pancake, and then I get some like syrup or butter or something.
Where
and like I make like an evil paste on it, and then that's like the abyss, okay?
Where can we rest, please?
I put another pancake on top.
Yeah, you guys are you're basically just taking a load off for a few minutes.
Oh my gosh, Corbin, while we're here, we need to get some of my favorite mushrooms.
I'm quite tired.
This is the realm where your friend Clover's from.
Who's Clover?
Clover.
The mothberry.
Sorry.
And so there's like
Not quite yet.
Fairies here as
Okay.
well.
Okay, so then
Yes.
this pancake is us. This is where we're from. And I put like a smiley face. And then this, we put another pancake on top, is the Feywild. That's where we are now.
How did
And I
you
put,
deal
like,
with
a flower
the
on it.
werewolf so easily? If I might ask.
I'm sorry. How did
you
what?
deal with the werewolf so easily? If I might ask.
Because they're cool.
I
Apparently.
am a watcher. I can see both your plane of existence and the Feywild simultaneously. We saw them approaching.
That's
And we also knew Clover was on her way.
pretty fucking cool.
We
Clover
guard
didn't know Clover was on her way.
the gates for just such instances.
Hey, that was my job. I've done
Is
that
that-
before.
This
that why
place.
your beautiful eyes are two different colors?
Yeah.
And she nods. That is correct. And she
This
giggles
place-
softly.
This place is quite interesting. This queen that you talk about, what was her name? Tatiana?
Queen Tatiana, yes.
Oh, we're good. Okay.
Titania?
Yep.
Did she same fair skin tone?
She is the same yet different. I am but a servant.
Interesting. Well, ma'am,
And I'm. Everybody can go ahead and make a perception check.
Tick.
I like how he just brought a hog and a donkey to the fucking Feywild.
His name is Rowan, and he is my
And a
best
skunk.
friend. He is an honorary
And a
Fey.
skunk, yeah.
Oh, okay, skunks are already Fey. Like that's valid.
Yeah. So are hogs and animals in general. All right. So.
Oh, no, they're all bees.
All right. Evie, Corbin, Clover, Andre. Okay, so Clover, you didn't have to make this. However, the rest of you, she is like no elf that you have ever seen in your life. Her ears are much larger and pointier, and protrude at a different angle than many elves that you've seen before. She's different, but yet shares the same qualities.
Can I do like an insight check on her? Like see what's up? Is she like speaking nice, but she's actually just like, I can't wait for these fuckers to get out of my hair. Like fuck these guys.
You can absolutely try.
I definitely try.
You detect zero. There's no deceit in her way or her manners or her methods. She is potentially as innocent as they come, as far as intent is concerned. She is pure good as you've ever experienced, and you can feel that being a Fae being yourself.
So she's just adorable. All right, got it.
She's literally she's elf, but not. You're not sure. I will message Clover.
Speaking of this queen, are we going to meet her, or what are we doing here?
Yes, I shall take you. The queen has requested your presence. She wishes to meet you. I'd offer you some well-earned rest and safety.
God, that sounds beautiful.
Let's go. Is there any like crazy fruits or like around, like in a tree or something?
Oh God. Oh God.
Sorry, Cora and I started this conversation back in Havita.
Corbin's about to have a hallucination.
All right. So she looks to you all. Says, well, if you are ready to continue, if you've caught your breath, then we shall continue. Fear not, there are guardians here that protect us on this trail.
I'm gonna put away the skull that I'm still holding. The one that I was gonna throw at the werewolves, but now I'll put it away.
I'll holster Excalibur.
Cora, who were you saying that to?
Megan.
Oh, okay.
They're having their own conversation right now.
Yeah.
She leads you on further down this path. And as you continue on, you pass by a satyr playing a flute, sitting about a rock, short ways off the path. And as he continues to play, he nods in your direction as you continue following Watcher Zentria.
Fucking hippies.
He, as you look at him, Andre, he stops playing just for a moment and hands you a wineskin.
Don't take it.
I take it and I put it away. I definitely do not drink out of it.
All right. He shrugs and.
Or is he like giving it to me like keep or like giving me a drink in the moment? I'm not trying to steal his wineskin.
Okay, you do drink it?
No, like I'm trying to figure out is he like handing me like the whole thing to keep or just offering me to drink?
And he says something. You don't understand Sylvan, do you?
Ooh, it's probably go to me.
Yeah, he says something in a language you don't understand.
I don't know what that means. I take it as an insult.
And basically he's motioning for you, understanding that you don't understand him. He motions for you to keep it.
I see your games here, Woodman.
You want
As he goes back to playing his flute. As you see birds of different colors and shapes and sizes flutter about. As you continue on,
poison.
If you want to see if it's poison, sure.
Like I don't think it's poison. I think it's just not wine. Or it's wine that's really good. It's scary.
I have advantage on taste tests, so
A taste test against poison. Oh, that's very useful skill. I do too.
It's poison.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's a thing I have. I have advantage on taste perception tests, so like I'm gonna use it.
If Clover sees you about to drink it, she will flip her shit.
Right,
Corbin downs it.
So wait, was he trying to kill me? Was he?
It's M2. Just make sure he doesn't go in the woods.
This is not M2, but good memory. But you continue traveling as you know about you. Time here is odd. You're within the light here. It's twilight, but it never seems to get any darker. It seems to stay the same. Basically, if you were to look at the sun, it's as if it's not moving. Basically, forever twilight, and it's warm here, very comfortable. As when you did stop, you did strip down out of the heavy furs that you were wearing before. And yep, it's as warm as a summer evening. And as you continue, you see fairies, pixies, small winged creatures zipping by the path, weaving in and out of the branches of some trees. And enter a clearing. And you see sitting about a pool a few odd elves. They sit there with their feet within the water. They splash and giggle as you enter the clearing. Clearly, they're not of your realm. You've you have never seen such beings. Long pointed ears, longer than a normal elf, and eyes and hair of various colors. Their skin perfect and completely naked as they stare at the newcomers. Upon an alabaster bench, encrusted with jewels of numerous colors, a lone female sits dressed in a dark blue dress, watching over her folk. Her hand rests gently upon the hilt of a large sword. She turns as you enter with Zentria. And
Got the picture.
Oh God, if she has white skin, I would be
She's not
scared.
fat.
Oh.
She's the first person I trust because she's the only one that looks like.
Oh, I don't trust her at all.
Maybe I trust her less. I thought she's more scary than that.
all right. Queen Titania of the Summer Court rules the Seelie Fae peoples. She is strong, confident, and beautiful. She rules her realm with benevolence and mercy. However, do not cross her, as she has a fierce side few have ever seen and lived to tell the tale. Perhaps aeons old, she does not look a day past her youthful prime. Her coppery blonde hair and tan skin glow with an almost radiance few mortals can resist. That being so, you cannot pull yourself away from staring into her almond-shaped eyes. No whites to them. They shine a crystal blue that seems to swirl as if clouds in a vortex. Perhaps perfection of beauty. You cannot help but be enthralled by her every word and command. Should she so choose, you would willingly sacrifice your own life for her. As luck would have it, that is not her desire today. Her hand resting gently upon the sword of the first queen, Reluineth, she requests you sit before her and rest. Satyrs, nymphs, and elves bring food and wine, while a shadowy figure sits underneath a nearby tree playing tunes upon a lute. And you enter this clearing. There is a pool of water, and as I said, there are naked elven beings within splashing about. There are, again, satyrs and these long-eared elves walking about, delivering food, wine, water. However, on the outskirts of the clearing, you do see a few armed, armed centaurs, each holding a leaf-bladed spear with a white ribbon tied about the base of the blade. Each of them wears a breastplate over their upper torso, and they stand watch about the edge of the forest, while a duo of these odd elves, they stand watch with bow in hands above on a small waterfall that dives down into the pool. And with a melodic voice, "Come, my children." What? Who? What?
I'm just like she's like saying things that are really scary, and I'm not sure if they're true or not.
Yeah, Otar immediately just kind of stands a step closer and sees Cora doing that shit, and I'm like, oh, okay, and gets on a knee.
All right, so Clover, yes, you do think it's okay. She has invited you.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And what we.
Gorman bows very low and then sits down.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Who's inciting what?
Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay, I'm just see.
Oh, she wants me to roll now. Fine. Now, you just save me something scary.
Right.
I don't know about it.
And
I'm just really good at wisdom stuff, so.
I'm sorry. The insight is on who? On Cora?
So it's on something Megan sent me about the wine.
She tells you it should be fine. It's you don't.
That's what she should be telling me, huh?
Well,
because that's not what she told me.
Well,
and that's why I didn't believe her.
You feel that anything given to you here by one of the Seelie, or basically the summer court beings, which are typically the good individuals, it's relatively safe. Where you might have issues if you wandered about the Feywild and you ran into individuals out in the wild that don't know that you're affiliated with the Queen, then they might try to entice you with such things and try to make you stay and so on and so forth.
So Clover would, on seeing the Queen, like bow deeply and then just like start fangirling, but also like frantically going through her notes, going, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, I'm not ready for this."
She says, "Relax, Clover. It's okay. And you, love, you may rise. No need to kneel here. I am not your queen, but I appreciate the gesture."
Don't mean to speak out of turn, but what is this place? I mean, I've gotten a lot of answers, so I just want to make sure. Is this like your kingdom?
This is the realm of the Feywilds. It is another realm of existence, separate from your world. I believe they refer to it as Thene.
This seems like a cruel fucking joke. And so
No joke.
You're just willingly giving us alcohol and food and letting us sleep. This doesn't seem right.
She's you see she has a genuine smile. Your experiences have been horrible as of yet. We have watched Clover and her ordeals, and thus watched you all. You may rest here, confident that you are safe.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I assure you, Otar, there is no safer place than by Her Majesty's side.
You don't need to tell me that. I can see that. Is there something we should address you as, other than Tatiana?
You may... Oh, sorry. I thought I was on mute for a second. She says, you may refer to me as Your Highness, Queen Tatiana.
Okay. Well.
Titles have little meaning in the Fae. So, please sit, eat, and rest. As Otar, as you are standing there confusedly, you see a mostly naked female elf walk up next to you, placing a hand on your shoulder, offering you basically a tray that has numerous what looks like earthenware tankards or glasses.
Otar just kind of like puts his hand through his hair. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? You see, he just kind of takes off his backpack and it's slammed because it's full of random shit.
And she, as you take she smiles and her hand lingers for a second on your arm as then she walks away and hands out glasses to everybody else.
What the hell is this place?
I take one and then in Elvish I say thank you.
And the female, who is most definitely a nymph from your experience. She says in Elvish back to you, "You're welcome." As she winks at you and smiles.
I definitely wink back.
And you see the queen. She has a glass as well, and she sips from it sparingly as you all sit down. Basically, it's soft, fragrant, lush green grass. The kind that some of you remember from back before the weather turned cold. So long ago, back before you were moved over to this continent. The aroma of the flowers and even the scent of the water, the earth smell, it's very soothing and relaxing. And as you consume the wine, for it is wine, it is like no wine that you have ever tasted in your life. This is Fey wine. It is.
It's the good shit.
It oddly tastes like fruit and the fragrance of flowers, but has that burn of alcohol, which is oh so pleasing. It's you after just one sip, you just feel a relaxing mood come over you.
That's very hypnal.
What's up? Merrick, what?
Merrick's still kind of looking around everywhere, but it's like, Your Majesty, we don't know only but stories of these werewolves, but one of our members has been attacked by one. Does that mean she's going to become one? Is that what the legends?
Yes. Were any of you wounded by such a beast, you would potentially be infected with the disease that turns them. And you see the queen. She looks over at you, Cor, and child, I see you are fevered.
Yeah, I don't feel well, no.
My poor dear. That is something we can fix, for sure. As she calls over to Zentrius. Zentria. She has been infected by the wolves. And you see the watcher nods. And you see she reaches into a pouch at her hip. And she pulls out a chain, a metallic chain, perhaps silver, perhaps something else. But attached to it is a small stone, milky white, almost luminescent. And she walks over to you and grabbing your one hand, she sets the chain down in the with the other. And she says to you, Zendria says, take this and bathe within the pool behind you. Wear this about your neck. It will help.
I take the necklace and put it on and obey without question because I'm shit out of options.
You see the queen speaks up. She says, child, this shall cure you of your curse.
Right.
Better. Need not thank me. Those are vile creatures that invade our lands, but that we will discuss later. Please bathe, relax, and rest. My maidens over there, they will assist you. As you see, there are three appear to be dryads or nymphs. You're not really sure as far as your lore is concerned. But they sit within the pool. They were the ones that were splashing earlier. But upon you being greeted by the queen and the queen giving the order, or suggestion, I should say, they get a little bit more serious, and they'll assist in the procedure.
Okay.
Because it's not just you take a bath and you wear this around your neck, and there's a ritual, and it is magical in nature.
Okay. I'll
which
allow myself to be led.
You feared as much, but knowing that the cure is at hand, it puts your mind at ease.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, so you bathe.
Man, I'm in your debt.
No, you're not. Not yet. For now, please accept this as a gift from a friend to another. You've had a grueling journey, that is to be sure. You've seen sights that would break most mortals. Relax and eat. We shall discuss business later on.
I'll sit down and pull out my red knife when I eat.
All right, you do. And so you guys enjoy a delicious meal.
What are they feeding us, Josh?
What are they feeding you?
Yeah.
A lot of fruit and vegetables, but as well there is freshly cooked meat, venison, as well as other individual meats that you're not 100% sure what they are, but they are definitely tasty.
I'm gonna have to get the recipe for this. This is good stuff. Milady, what is your favorite recipe around these parts? If anybody knows good food, you would have to know good food.
Perhaps once. I don't eat. I eat little these days. But my favorite... And she tells you it is a fresh fruit. Hold on, I'm finding it. Not that I really expected you to ask me that.
Is it the same as mine?
In fact, it is. It is, you acquired the taste from the queen herself.
Of course, because she's beautiful and amazing and perfect, and everything that she likes is the best.
And it is similar to has a similar taste to an apple, but more of a texture of, say, a citrus fruit like an orange or a pineapple. It has a hard, crusty outer shell that is blue. The fruit inside is a white, almost like looks like the color of coconut, but and I don't have the name off the top of my head, but that's what she told you, that it's just a fruit that hangs on a tree.
Where would I get this kind of fruit?
It is only found within the Feywilds. It is native to our lands. Perhaps. And she nods over. She says, Valkyrin. And you see under the shadow of a great oak tree, playing a lute masterfully, sits a dark figure. As engulfed in an ever-shifting darkness, you see little other than bright green eyes that pierce the darkness. Coming forward upon Queen Titania's command, his milky white skin with a purplish hue is distinct from the others here. Long, sharp, pointed ears betray his sylvan heritage. This, however, is no elf. His facial features are as if chiseled from stone, but as smooth as silk. Long and wavy black locks hang loosely about his forehead and sway in the breeze. You cannot help but stare as you are captivated by his gaze. A knowing smirk plays across his face, hinting at perhaps a sinister thought, the one that has been leashed and chained. Continuing to play for the queen, he sits upon a tree stump nearby, watching the party and the conversation with either a measure of disdain or perhaps something else. And as he steps forward, he says, Yes, my queen. And says, Do you by chance have any of my fruits with you? As he stops playing, he sits down the lute, reaches into one of his pouches that he has on his side, and he pulls out this blue-colored fruit and hands her one. With this too, my queen. And she accepts it. And says, Yes, please continue playing. And nodding, he picks his lute back up and sits with near the queen and the group and continues to play while observing you all. And Queen Titania hands you the fruit.
Perfect, thank you. I would like to make something if I could. Could I make a parfait for her out of this fruit?
Sure, why not? You can attempt to.
Fuck yeah. Cooking. Go back to there. There we go. I see what the fuck I'm going. Boom.
All right, 22. So so anybody who had levels of exhaustion, they are now removed. You are feeling much more at ease. That's not quite the way that works, but
It's definitely the way that works.
So you hand her the part. It takes you a while, but you find a clean, flat stone surface to basically create your concoction. It's quite tasty.
Otar, after having conversation with both Evie and Clover, is going to go over to Zentria and be like, everything is great here. I'm just very confused at where we are.
Don't worry about it.
If you wouldn't mind, can you explain to me these things? I'm quick to learn, but...
Sure. So she will sit down with you, and she is basically going to explain it to you out in layman's terms that Otar can understand.
Yeah, Caden understands. Otar fucking
Yeah. She breaks it down for you. It takes a little while, but she's definitely going to do that for you. And after she's done, it makes much more sense to you. Although you're sure on how traveling between works, but the idea is set in your mind now.
Can you also explain the customs of this place? This place is wonderful, and I don't want to be the shithead that I am at my home. So,
and at that, she giggles, and she willingly begins to explain those.
Okay.
And
that's what Otar's going to be doing.
So, all right. So while that is taking place, Gorbin, you finished that, and it is ready to present to the queen if you like, or you can eat it yourself. Either way.
No, definitely give it to the queen.
She accepts it, nodding to you. Thank you.
It kind of looks like a cold drink, so I put a little bit of mint on top to like accent it. I feel like you really like it.
Well, you see, she tastes it, looking rather sheepish as she does so. As you would expect that she does often get gifts. However, one made like this, perhaps not so often, especially by an outsider. And you see a look of shock and approval crosses her face as she tastes it. She's like, "This is delicious. Thank you."
Well, thank you. I've honed my craft over the years.
And as I can tell, it's you put your heart and soul into it. She says, and says you have the scent of the cursed upon you. I can smell it, faint, but it is there. As she reaches out a hand and she moves your shirt to the side. You don't stop her.
No, definitely not.
She sees these scars. It's just, oh my. As she lets go, that is what I smell. I'm sorry for your suffering.
Well, if I was at least the only one to bear it, I'll take that. Rather me than my entire village. Oh, they be gone now.
Sorry, I just wrote what Andre wrote. That is noble of you. Rest at ease.
And in Elvish, I'll say, I'm assuming we're not here just for pleasantries. What else are we here for, my lady? I must protect this small family I have left.
And within your head, you hear the response echoing. You hear, there are other motives that I hold. However, for now, just rest. Be at ease. Heal your wounds. Clear your minds. And she smiles.
I nod and say, thank you, my lady. And I walk off. Enjoy the parfait.
And she does. All right. And no. Evie most definitely cannot.
Yeah, I thought so.
No, you absolutely cannot. There is
I would hope Evie wouldn't dare try.
Evie can't always control it. Sometimes it just.
I know, but
Yeah,
still.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens. Her mind wanders, and well, Evie, as your mind is wandering,
Oh dear.
you hit. Basically, in your mind, you hit what be the equivalent of a brick wall. You cannot penetrate her mind to reveal her feelings or thoughts or whatever the case is. She's protected in some manner from this.
Sweet.
And as if knowing that you, whether intentionally or not, tried, she casts a glance over at you. She smiles. Doesn't say anything about it, but she smiles. Yeah, and yeah, you guys continue eat. Oh, and there's along with the fruits, there's also cheese and whatnot, but and breads and whatnot, all kinds of delicious items. And you guys can consider yourselves having taken a long rest, and may go ahead and advance your level. Finally.
And it didn't even take a week.
ED.
No, of course not. You're in the Feywild. Time runs differently.
Oh shit, this got real, guys.
Yeah, same. Otar just got a major upgrade. So first, how does sanity work? Because I'm still uncertain about that. Josh.
Sorry. What was that again?
How does sanity work?
Sanity? Which part of it?
Like when I think you said whenever you level up, like something happens with sanity, or.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So you start with 5 at level 1.
Yep. 5 plus your sanity score, right?
Yeah, it starts at 5 at level 1, and then you add your sanity score or your bonus onto that every level up.
Oh, so we would have added it 3 times by now, right? Third level, we've added.
Well, no, because you would have had 5 at first level.
Yeah, so 2 times.
2 times.
Okay.
Yep.
Good to know. And then it fully restores at a long run or at a level up.
Yes, and you are actually, whether that is going to happen or not, whether you level up or not, your sanity is back to normal.
Sounds great.
You've completely cleared your minds.
Nice.
Filled your bellies.
Can I get some of the food from here?
There's all kinds of food. I mean, it's basically like you just eat as much as you want. But Merrick, you tell me.
I guess it kind of makes sense now.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
I wasn't expecting that, so otherwise.
Yeah, I think the only one that really expecting this was Meg.
Kind of. I was avoiding it because I don't have anything helpful to tell the most amazing person in the whole wide world that I ever know, ever. So.
Oh, yeah. But under the circumstances, you torn to shreds or gate.
Can Otar make an insight or something to see if White Queen would be a good nickname for her?
I can tell you it's not.
No, she. I mean, whereas in maybe in passing that amongst some of her folk that she's referred to as the White Queen, it is not the White Queen you're looking for.
Okay, so I
much like the droids.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait. I'm confused now. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, because she's good, thus white.
Yeah. Well, I don't know my, I don't know very well. So
yeah, Otar's confused.
oh, very confused.
So you guys, you were just resting, relaxing. Cora, the nymphs, they basically bathe you as you're within the pool, but at the same time, you see you can sense it. No check required. You can feel the curse or the disease, whatever you want to call it. You can feel it being drained from you and removed. As the water cleanses your soul, and you are no longer stricken with lycanthropy, and you will not tear your party members to shreds as a werewolf.
Yay!
Oh, Joe's been bitching and moaning all week about this.
For as enticing as that may have been.
Right.
Yeah, there's so you guys, basically your hit points and spells, everything gets bumped back up to normal as you sit about and enjoy things. So you guys eventually fall asleep. The light plays havoc with your mind as you feel you should still be up because it is twilight still. It's not quite evening, but the sun never sets. But eventually, exhausted from your everything that's happened thus far, you fall into a pleasant sleep, uninterrupted. No dreams that you can speak of. Nothing negative. No nightmares. No troubles.
Evie, while she waits for Clover to fall asleep, and then when she falls asleep, she gets one of her throwing knives and wraps it in some leaves, and then slips it I don't know, under her arm or something while she's sleeping.
Okay. Absolutely. And Andre, that did not work.
Yeah, I was trying to create a spell, and then I accidentally hit the button that makes it send.
No.
It was weird over here.
It's the mystery spell. Oh, Otar's back. All right.
Put it on this.
Is that hit points?
Me? Yeah.
Merrick?
No, something
Okay.
else.
Okay.
Depends what the roll is.
Yeah.
I see your 10 for the hit dice. Yeah, that's nice.
Man, yours.
Sorry.
All right. So you don't know how long you've all been asleep. You awaken in the clearing to the sound of that waterfall. Still twilight out. Your eyes have have grown more accustomed to the light here. You find it much easier to see and to judge distances. Something that you didn't notice before. You see there is a mountain off to the east, looming high above. And you see there are blue crystals, almost like a inverted chandelier, shooting up from the mountain itself. And they glisten within that stationary light. And it's like a soft pink light, and it just illuminates that crystal up above. Something I forgot to mention before. And the queen still sits upon the alabaster bench.
Oh. So it wasn't a fucking dream.
And
the best fucking breakfast ever.
No need, unless you really want to. But there is already food laid out before you. And Otar, you wake up, and there is a nymph that has been sitting there stroking your hair. You have no memory of anything. This is how you woke up. She basically, your head is in her lap, and she is.
God, I drank too much last night.
She says,
"You messed up."
No. She says, You yelled out when you sleep. I put your mind at ease.
Is that supposed to be comforting?
Then I suppose I didn't drink enough. Thank you. I suppose I'm not truly sure. What is your name?
Her name is Orania. Let me go ahead and put that down.
Well, I thank you very much, Orania, I say in Sylvan.
Oh,
I speak Sylvan.
Oh, fancy you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just baby Einstein this by chewing it in sleep?
Maybe.
You just slab it where you put it on repeat?
Otar doesn't purposely say it in Sylvan. He just says it and is like, oh, well then. After you.
She cocks her head and has just a sly smile on her face. She says, you could understand this all along.
No, I certainly could not. I'm not sure. I kind of sit up, kind of, brush my eyes, brush my hair. Fucking, I don't like magic. I don't. Am I supposed to pay you or something? I'm not sure how this works. I wasn't told this whole.
What? She.
Of course. Called her a prostitute, dude.
Of course.
Zentai didn't tell me about how all this works.
She smiles and she says, "Of course not. It is our nature."
Okay, thank you. Is everybody else still asleep, or?
Everybody's coming to, as you do as well.
Yeah.
I would like to give the queen some breakfast.
Yeah. Before you do, you see the parfait that you prepared for her still sits about half full. It's not. And from what she mentioned earlier, she told you she does not eat much.
I know.
Perhaps it's that she doesn't need to eat much. But she did enjoy it.
America understands me. People have to eat. I'm like that old grandma, like, oh, you need some more mashed potatoes.
Yeah. She says, it is all right, my friend. No need. I am not that hungry.
Well,
but I appreciate
it's here if you want it. It's very delicious.
Reaching out and stroking the beard on your chin, she says, it is quite all right, my friend. And everything is quite all right with the world right now for you.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And you see the dark individual. He's walking about, pacing.
I give him some breakfast.
He looks down at it, looks up to you.
I promise it's delicious.
Oh, come on, Val.
Valkyrin says, it is appreciated. As he accepts your breakfast.
It's pancakes with like strawberries and like blueberries and like whipped cream on top.
Like, you have to be a monster to turn down pancakes.
Clover.
On keto.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm just saying you have to be a monster to turn down pancakes like that, or you're on keto, which means you're a monster.
You can make keto pancakes.
You would know that.
All right. So, I have the wrong music on for sure. Although I like that that song, there's no need for that any longer.
That's a very stressful moment there.
Wow, I have a lot of dark, evil music here.
I can imagine.
Looking for some. Oh, here we go.
See, I never get the pleasure of listening to the music because it gives an echo. So I have no idea.
Is Clover up? Do I see Clover?
Yeah, Clover is up. Everybody is up. Clover, you find a parcel under your arm, something wrapped up in some green leaves.
Ooh, I like presents.
All right. Opening it up, you find a blade that has been given to you, a familiar-looking throwing knife.
Is it red?
I pick
Does
it
it
up
have
and I
demons
try to not shrink it. And I wave it around like a sword.
All right. So the scenery has not changed at all over the course of your rest. However, as you finish morning activities and finish your breakfast, the Queen says, "Perhaps now we should get down to business." Tell me, Clover, what have you discovered?
Unfortunately, not much with detail.
Well, you can surely tell me what you have.
Well, there's two peoples. There's people in the north that are more in tune to nature, and there are people to the south that keep coming from somewhere else. I don't think anyone actually wants to be in there. The town is weird. And the people from the north have been complaining that the local cannibal tribe has gained a lot of power and seem to have made a pact with a white queen who we don't know who it is. There might be a vampire there. The hags are in the area. And there's undead all over the place. But I don't know where all the connections are between the dots.
Hags. That is
Sorry.
interesting, as that draws a line to the Fae. The Unseelie.
The gate, too. Or at least where I first saw them.
Our observations have been noted. This is most displeasing. And she begins thinking, absentmindedly tracing the lines of the hilt of her sword with her finger. Is there anything else? Any of you may speak.
That and there's werewolves, apparently.
My queen. There's also a cult going on. I'm unsure if she mentioned that. We're unsure of where they're aligned. We have a necklace of the cult?
The cult of the undying love, so I've been told.
Well, that's a bloody great title. Okay. Well, yes, my queen.
I believe they say the eternal love, but you have to look within the meaning, within the description of their order to find the true meaning.
Do you have any more scouts around here?
And she laughs. My scouts are everywhere.
Okay. Well,
She is very powerful, Otar.
no,
Her
no.
Majesty sees and knows all.
I don't tell that. I want to thank you. I'm going to say this to Sylvan now. I want to thank you for giving us home and shelter. It's kinder than anyone I've truly ever met. Is there a reason you do this? Do you need us to do something?
And she smiles. Says, there is. I would have offered you sanctuary in the Feywilds regardless. But there is something I request of you. There are things that my subjects cannot do for me. It would be in violation of a current agreement and situation. Just as you see, she holds out her hand, and you see a glowing white circular object appears floating above her hand. You can see straight through it. Just like a slight, just a slight image that she's made. She says, this half of the circle, this is the Seelie, or my summer court. With all the good-natured beings that you see before you and others. On the other side is the Unseelie, that of the Winter Court. There are some of the beings within the Fae reside on both sides, but on that side as well, there are goblinkin, hags, evil beings that would like nothing more than to destroy unwelcome wanderers. However, in the center, between the Seelie and the Unseelie, is the rift. There has been an agreement between myself and the Queen of the Winter Court that our scouts, spies, and soldiers, if you will, they may not cross. Consider it neutral ground, reserved strictly for meetings between both sides. It is here that I need you to go. Many of my kind have disappeared. My subjects, they've disappeared as of late. Not within the rift. I do not violate agreements, these ancient agreements. Something is crossing the border and taking those, dragging them into the rift from whence they disappear. For what purpose, I do not know. I have spent inquiries to the Queen of the Winter Court, or the Unseelie. And she claims to have no knowledge of such interactions or encroachments. Whereas we are at opposite ends of the spectrum. I do believe her. She is not evil in and of herself. She's just different, much like light and darkness. Both must exist. But I need you to travel there. There's evil at foot, not of this land, not of the Fae.
And this is on the Feywild.
It is within the Feywild, correct. It is that which lies between my lands and the Winter Court. Basically, she's displaying this on that illusion that she has in her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, and within that illusion of the rift that she says, you see there is like this gigantic crag that runs the entire distance, very deep. There are bridges that span, and there are areas you can see designated meeting areas for joint court would potentially be held on these pillars of earth that rise up out of the crag. Bridges leading from it to either side, the Unseelie or the Seelie. Just within the rift, my kind, perhaps the kind of the Winter Court as well, but they are disappearing. Perhaps used for nefarious purposes. This I cannot tolerate. But there's little I can do. I cannot send my own kind there. And that is where I would ask you to go for me.
Please.
You are not. Continue.
I was just going to ask, please stop me if I am wrong. The Feywild is sort of like a disc on top of the material plane, or at least that's how it was explained to me.
She nods. In essence.
Well, then are we certain that this is only on our plane? If the Accenture over here, if she can see simultaneously on both planes, maybe she can see if it's also on our plane, if we travel there.
The Feywild mirrors that of your realm. So what you see here should appear as well on your realm. Although it may look different, the landscape should look similar. The rift, however, is something different. That exists solely here within the Fae.
Of course.
And Clover, she looks at you. You're Yitzamir. Fairy. No insult, of course, intended. Clover.
Oh no, I didn't say anything. No, that's out of character. My queen is perfect.
But she she's perfect. She can sense thought. And she says, yes, I have thought that over. A wandering fairy, perhaps an outlander in Furbolg. Nothing that anybody would suspect. I think you would be
waving around my giant knife like a sword.
I'm sorry. What was that?
So it looked pretty non-threatening as I'm carrying like a knife as a sword.
Actually, shrinks down to your size. Remember?
Can I control it? Can I make it not shrink?
You could. Yeah, you could.
I want to make this one not shrink.
Okay. Absolutely.
My throwing knives are only 4 inches long, so they're super small.
It's still like over a third of my height.
Proper longsword.
Our shields.
I am going.
Captain Cooper.
I'm just going to create the same illusion that she has of the place we're going to in my hand. The same illusion. So this, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Milady, is there
spell the illusion.
anything that you could give us as a boon to help us into when we're going into this rift? I'm assuming a very dangerous place if your people can't handle it. And most of us have never been to the Feywild, so
It is
who
not
knows
per
what
se.
danger.
It is not per se dangerous. It is just a border between the two realms. Borderlands, if you will. Either my.
Well, I'm assuming that since your people are disappearing, it's going to be very dangerous. I was just seeing if there's anything you could give us that can help us along our way.
Perhaps. And you see Valkyrin. He steps forward hastily and leans down and whispers something into her ear.
Can I hear it?
No.
I want to try and make a perception check, see if I can fucking hear it. Do I hear it?
You heard it. However, it was in a language that you cannot understand. But it.
This looks like Sylvan.
But I will tell you that it is spoken urgently, and you get the sense that there is something wrong.
Okay, got it.
Both by and you with the net 20 on the perception check, you do see that momentarily it's just a slight twinge in the queen's visage, but it just as quickly as it appeared, it disappears back to her serene expression.
Okay.
Valkyrin stands back up. You see he has one hand on a blade that sits about his belt, small blade, but you see he just has his hand resting on it. And she says, "There's danger. The Oracle." God damn it! Didn't list that in there yet. Why did I write that?
So in the Feywild, long rest and short rest are the same.
No, you're not quite sure what happened. Consider it like
probably just because we're in the actual kingdom or presence.
Consider it consider it a boon or a magical spell, if you will. Like, you could cast, what is it, like the Hero's Feast or something like that.
Of course.
Yeah, it's similar to that, but much more potent. And she says, "The Oracle, she's in danger. I thought I sensed something, but we need to go." Well, and Valkyrin says, "No, my queen. You stay here. You cannot go." And Queen Titania, she looks at him as if mentally arguing. And you see she slowly closes her eyes and nods. Valkyrie will lead you. One of my subjects is in distress. She lies close to the rift. She's the Oracle. You must find her and save her. Should you do that, a boon shall be granted you, of course.
Then I suppose we need to get going now.
Of course, my lady. I bow and then follow Valkyrie.
And meanwhile, Merrick, you've wandered off from the camp. You kind of wander off into the forest a little bit, in taking in the beauty and splendor of the Feywild. That's absolutely fascinating to you. There are plants and animals that you've never seen the likes of before in your life. And you come across some prints within some soft earth nearby. Wolf prints for sure. You're skilled enough to know those from your experiences thus far. And
right. Get my bow out handy.
Okay. These prints are large, very large. And
not another damn wolf, large wolf.
As you begin following these prints, following them through the underbrush, you can easily follow the trail of this beast. It's large. It's perhaps if it wanted to not be followed, or if it was trying to hide itself, you would know, or you may have trouble finding the tracks. But in this case, no such attempt has been made. You come across. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. You come across a outcropping of stone, and sitting within the shadows, laying on its side below the rock, there is the panting form of a wolf. Dire wolf.
Does this look like one of the other two wolves we came across?
The ones that are full of arrows? No.
No, the other one's like the one that dropped off, or that was looking after Andre, or the one that gave me the sword.
Perhaps. This one does not look like the one that delivered the sword. This one is different, for sure. However, there seems to be some sort of familiarity with it, but nothing that you can place. Nothing. Nothing that worries you, I should say. And as you look, you see the wolf is injured. It has a slash from most likely a blade across its flank. And as it looks at you as you enter the clearing, begins to growl slightly. And go ahead and make a animal handling. Why not? nature or actually animal handling, if you like.
Let's go for it. It's fun.
Nice. I think that's the first time I've ever made anybody use that. One of the first, anyway. So as it begins to growl, you basically ease it.
I put my bow away and grab out some bandage.
All right. So as you approach, it's a female female wolf. Sorry. It lays. Surprise! No, it's a female wolf, and it lays its head back down on the cool earth, as if accepting your help.
It's actually just a furry.
Yeah, I guess gotta leave it there to die then. Rough choice.
Elf in wolf's clothing.
It was somebody. Never mind. I'll ask later. I don't want to distract. So so I'm gonna ask you to make a medicine check.
I think that's 2 points.
Okay. All right. So as you bind it, you see there is some necrosis around the wound.
Wasn't me. Just before I get the blame.
Damn, Andre.
It looks like Andre bit this wolf.
One thing.
I mean, it's fairly obvious. As you lean down, you could actually smell the necrosis or the rot. It seems. It looks like a very fresh wound, as if it happened relatively recently, but it for one reason or another, you can't place your finger on it. It's probably something supernatural or magical in nature. There's definitely that rot to it. But with 2 points of healing, as you bandage the wolf and apply your medicine to it, she licks your hand and she begins to stand up. She has silver fur that fades to a white, and she's a dire wolf. She's very large. Well, she's considered a large being. So she comes up well past your waistline. Let's see her, and she has pale blue eyes. And she basically she nuzzles into your hand as
I pull out some rations, like the jerky, whatever, and hold it out for her, and just whisper in Elven, Sylvan, that can you follow?
She takes a couple steps forward to follow you.
I will slowly try to make my way back to the camp.
Okay, and she will follow you back to the camp. You arrive back with the wolf at your side, or dire wolf, I should say. And you exit as you see the party begin to gather up possessions. And you see some of the centaurs ride off into the woods, past you actually, deeper into the foliage, and disappear beyond. For the rest of the party, party Zoolander, sorry,
Yeah.
I had to go there. So you see Merrick walk into your encampment here with a dire wolf at his side.
Ah!
I look at the dire wolf and say, since I can talk to animals, I'm like, hello.
What?
Sorry. Hello, pleasure to meet you. My name is Gorbun. Are you Merrick's friend?
You see the wolf kind of nuzzles into Merrick's side.
Oh, that's very sweet. I never knew if I had a grandchild before, but now I do. It's very great.
So, you see the Zentria. She approaches you, Merrick. Says,
I have to say that the wolf's hurt. But the wounds don't look. They look fresh, but partially rotted.
she kneels down. Well, she doesn't necessarily. Actually, she doesn't kneel down because she doesn't have to. The wolf is huge, so she walks forward and she leans her forehead against the wolf's head, stroking its basically cheeks and behind the ear. She says, I see you've discovered Vika. And you see Zentria takes her hand, hovers it just about an inch or so away from the wound that you bandaged. And you see there's a magical energy and light that appears off of Zentria's hand. And you see the wound and the necrosis heals up, still leaves a scar, but her wound is healed. She is one of the queen's servants, and one of many, of course. It is ill tidings that she has come here wounded. Since you weren't here, the queen asked that you meet with the oracle. She's in danger. We do not know what's happening. We have but a vague message. And seeing how Vika has taken to you, I assume she will be following you thus far. Perhaps for revenge, perhaps not, but you must go. It is time.
I just kind of look back at the wolf, to say Sylvan, like, really?
What? To really what?
Well, like, she's gonna follow or something?
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah, the wolf. Yeah, Vika basically sits down before you on his haunches, or on her haunches, and she sits there. You see the tail is wagging. She stares at you with her pale blue eyes.
I'll just say, and Sylvan, all right, let's go then. Go find my horse.
And as you begin heading to the horse, Zentria says, perhaps you should leave your horses here. Your animals, they may have trouble within the forest. That's unsure of what you'll find there. Perhaps it's safer for them. We shall take care of them for you, of course.
Does that include the donkey and the hog?
Of course.
Okay.
How long will this take? How many days?
It is not far. Thus, why we must hurry. It's troubling news that there's trouble this far into the Fae. Or into the Summer Queen's court, I should say.
All right, I just grab like a couple days supply and of food or whatever, and grab the gear.
All right. And I did prepare her card there. It is a character sheet with all of her stats. I just showed it to you. And let me go ahead and let me edit it here so I can. All players controlled by.
Otar would have asked Zentria, like, is there a bartender race here? Like, you know, is there somebody who, like, supplies the ale that he can ask to, like, you know?
She looks at you strangely. There are those that produce it, of course. That's.
I don't know what that means either.
They produce the ale and the wines, and do you require some?
Do you mean brew it?
Yes.
No, it's like a cow. It's like a cow, Otar.
Yes, they milk the.
I truly had no idea.
They milk the beer tree.
Okay.
She says, of course, we provide or brew our own.
Yeah, it's quite wonderful. How do you make it?
That is a question for another time, perhaps.
I personally
she hands you a small wineskin.
Oh,
here, you can have mine.
No need. I take out my 4 wineskins that I have. Is there some place I can fill these up?
So for now, she takes one of them aside, and
that's probably the good idea.
She ends up filling it up, topping it off from one of the large pitchers off to the side, and she ends up bringing it back to you.
Okay. Thank you. I take it. You all been so hospitable. We don't deserve this. We literally have a fucking zombie with us. We don't deserve this shit.
He's not a zombie. He may look it. No, he's not.
Told you so.
He has a curse about him. And unfortunately, it's not even something the Queen here can cure.
Wait, can you just detect that?
Well, the Queen and I spoke. We've been aware of it for a while.
Can I do something? Can I go by her and whisper something in her ear real quick?
I will say sure, why not?
Just real quick in Elvish, I'll say, he thinks you're really hot. Just wanted to pass that on. He's real shy about it, so you want to pry it out of him.
So, like,
is Party Dad trying to wingman?
And then I walk off.
I'm not sure. This place is so much better than anywhere I've ever went. I don't deserve it.
Of course you do.
You don't know.
There is good in your heart. And she places her hands over your heart.
I look down. Kind of like
a smile crosses her face. Says, "But enough for now. We could discuss your humanity. We could discuss your humanity later."
Yeah, let's do that later. I'm gonna. Yeah, we need to go.
I know.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you.
With a squeal of horrible bagpipe playing.
Fuck me.
in the sliding of steel from a scabbard.
Use the fucking liar. Okay. I guess I better get. Fuck. I'm going. Otar
All right.
quickly rushes off.
All right, and so Valkyrin looks to you all and says, "Follow me. Do not stray far." As he leads you basically in the direction that Merrick had traveled off. Through the forest, passing beautiful landscape, and there are fey creatures just wandering about here and there. But after what you can just assume is 15 minutes maybe, you see no check required. You can tell that the creature's presence, or the phase, seems to have subsided. It is quiet. As you see ahead, that twilight sun shines down upon another clearing or grove. There at the center stands a set of monolith stones. And let me go ahead and move you there.
Somebody fucking killed a unicorn. Whoever killed this fucking unicorn is gonna pay.
God damn it.
I want the unicorn split. Could this be Leaf's unicorn?
Leaf's child unicorn?
Oh my god.
That's my son. How dare you?
Oh, who's this like magic person? Oh, this is definitely
all right. Nope. Hold on. Let me go ahead and add Valkyrin here. I don't think I can, because nope. Crap, I didn't make him a. So he's with you. And excuse me. Actually, where is he? Valkyrin, where'd you go? There you go. He's probably going to pop up like gigantic here for a second.
Yep. I just made him a token, though.
He grows into gigantic size. No.
Yep, definitely evil.
All right, Valkyrin leading you. You see there are monolith standing stones arranged in a circle. Perhaps some sort of mystic meaning to them, or you're not sure. And there at the center of those, you see the form of one of the pale-skinned elves. This one dressed in female. She's dressed in flowing robes, and she is hovering above the ground, surrounded in shadow and that electric blue magical energy, as she seems to be unconscious, perhaps alive, but it's hard to see through the darkness and the magical energy. They're off to the north. Well, the north. You see in a dead unicorn, slain, slashed in numerous spots, and you see these some of the elves, most akin to the ones that you saw when you first entered the Feywild, the ones that slew the werewolves. You see a few of those about, laying in pools of their own blood. Here and there you see animals. It's like forest animals moving about. There's a raccoon and a rabbit, and you see an elk off to the north. And Oop. Missing a kidney. All right. So
Annie Mountain, Charlie.
you hear a whimper and a cry from the north, just north of the stones, perhaps hiding behind one of the stones, but you can't quite be sure. It sounds like a small child.
Yeah, I start moving around to approach it.
Yeah, actually, I go ahead and move your tokens about.
I stopped and examined his body first.
Otar is standing right next to the fucking evil elf dude.
Okay. He betrays. Yes, if he betrays us, he gets you first.
He, you see, he crouches down
That
next
was
to the.
secretly really nice, guys. Heart of gold. He taught me how to do sneak attack damage.
He's just Snape.
Yeah. So he looks down at the body. You guys, each of them has these horrific slash marks through them, rendering flesh and bone alike. And their blood is splattered about the ground about them as well. The ones that are closer to the stones, it is also splattered on the stones itself. The unicorn, similar. It has been slashed unmercilessly. And with that, everybody freeze where you're at.
Did I find where that voice was coming from?
You're about to. As it eats your fucking soul.
Do we know how far away this thing is? The place we're going? Like, is it going to take a couple days or?
What place? This is
or is this where we were going?
Valkyrin tells you that is the oracle at the center. And all right. So with that, let me go ahead and populate these.
Populate?
Yes.
And I appreciate you populating me.
You're welcome.
No.
It's Lee's job to populate the forest.
Is that what the Special Victims Unit is for?
I can't believe you killed my son, Josh.
FSV, Phase Special Victims Unit. SVU.
All right. There we
You
go.
notice the it has like a little cheetah polka dots periodically.
Yeah. It has whiskers.
Oh, they look so sweet.
What in the fuck is that?
Druids from Curse of Strahd.
It's what happens when Josh populates.
Yes, that is what happens when the DM populates. All right, so
creepy as fuck.
So basically, as you turn, Gorbin and Evie, as you come around that most northern stone, you see there is a deer sitting there, and it looks at you. It's standing there, and it looks at you. And opening its mouth, you hear that same cry as it shifts its form into. Let me go ahead and give you the description here. A tall, gaunt, to the point of emaciation. Its desiccated skin pulled tightly over its bones. its bones pushing out against the skin, its complexion the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. All right, each of them has what looks like the skull of a deer, stag, placed upon its head, covering most of its face. You see their claws are dripping with fresh blood as they surprise you, appearing. Basically, they were all animals hovering about the area, and they are going to attack you.
So I was right about the fucking raccoon. God damn.
You were right about the raccoon, of course, but
raccoon.
I am going to. Yep, they are Wendigos for sure. And we are going to go ahead and call it for the night because it's almost 11. So we are not going to get through this battle in 12 minutes.
So that fucking raccoon.
Fuck, man.
Dude, this forest gonna have a serious lack of raccoons after this fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking just murder any raccoon I see from now on.
No. Raccoon, rabbit, and elk, and those are just the ones that he named.
Yeah, they're all in on it. It's a conspiracy.
We're facing Wendigos. Well, hell.
Fun times.
Oh, yeah, Vika needs to be on the map.
Yep. These are perhaps different than any that you might have seen. These are not the full-blown gigantic Wendigos that. Well, this is wow. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, well,
they may still destroy you.
Wendigos. That's skating.
I've never heard of Wendigos before.
Skinwalkers.
Native American thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Skinwalker, Wendigo, it's kind of the same thing.
You're not supposed to say their names. God, don't you guys know anything?
Ah, shit.
That's how I find you.
I'm dead.
Yeah, really. It's actually. Yeah,
Need new DM for next week.
Actually, yep, I'll go ahead and assign that. I gave you control of Vika.
Yeah.
You should be able to. She's under NPCs, under Chapter 3.
I have the sheet, but I don't know how you get an icon.
You just drag it over. Yeah,
Yeah, drag
because
it.
she's set up as a character sheet. You can just drag her over like your icon. And she should size to the correct height, or correct size.
Oh,
right.
this is so OP.
All right. Well, I'm going to get going. You can actually increase her to large size, so it'd be 4 squares.
Why is there 50 EVs?
I didn't know you could track everyone.
All right. Well, hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Yeah.
See you next week.
You guys.
Good night, everybody.
Adios.
Take it easy.